How can something... A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. End is coming to... Welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA. Structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Commando. Deadeye. Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Commando. Commando chosen. That'll work. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun.
Achando um pouquinho estranho esse gráfico, velho. Ver se eu consigo melhorar aqui um pouco.
We're already at a crossroads, but for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. Your inner voice, to be precise. An echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
So glad you realize who you really are. Let's keep to the...
You can't contradict yourself like that. You made the...
Because you can't deny what's deep within your...
But remember, this is just the beginning of the...
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the Predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Cut that one in half. An emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Gonna need a key of some kind. Bolted shut. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Right in the face. Ouch! That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma, had it not... Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Mooma knows you are here. Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. There's nothing as powerful as a Mooma's... He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You've found one. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall, you'll need a net to catch. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. One day, he hopes the tree... But today, your focus is getting... Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no From this day on, he'll make... One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Mooma will be able to protect us. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life. It might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived.
The what?
The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eaters' DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route.
The what?
The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intent. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
Ah, that's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to...
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to...
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world, and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifu's, Myriad especially. Out of Date will be waiting for... Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. Pow! Flexity flex. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says you should take it easy. Says they're cautious of non-allies. Says everyone wants to see the Sifu. You're in luck, though.
Zata is de muito tloho. Kariesne zdace. Paro, ya put.
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Blight started, the animosity escalated to war. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you. He wasn't sure you'd do that. But it seems your mind took control of that big heart of yours. That's a sign of strength. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The one he wants to deal with first is the Myriad tribe. Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Even if you see the world differently, you must hit them as soon and as hard as you can. The outcome of this war is up to you. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. He remembers. Anyway, you'll pass... The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Wouldn't be... That's a keeper. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially. It formed and unfurled. Reflexed. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Learning to swim can be scary. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Knowing how to swim won't solve life's hard problems, but at least one of them won't be drowning. He says that wasn't too bad, was it? At least... But you... Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. You know you can't make up for lost time. You should know, practice makes perfect. She'll see you at the village square. She understands. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. It's your own future. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find. He wonders what usefulness you found. Sometimes he's an expert, but sometimes he just doesn't. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. But that's his... He'd love to... You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He appreciates. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. You'll continue to build on the basics. Talent will only take you so far. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself. That's all she's ever asked of you, that you'll try and give it your best. You can't do more than that. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He says that it's... There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. You'll have to face pain at some point. He offers to help you get it over with. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? She's there for... The most important thing is that you're... It's time to focus on your training now. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He'll leave the quick part to you. You're the martial artist, after all. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics.
E aí, bicudo? Quem já tá com
He's curious to see what you found. He's gathered so much over the years, and it's hard to remember everything. Just short. He says it's about time you learn how, and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found.
Ó, roupinha.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on... You should take it with you, wear it to practice.
Kalba.
He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. Your Muma says it's about time you got here. Hopes you're as ready as you claim to be. She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the sun goes down. Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you. That's all she's ever asked of you. Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz. You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it. Catchy. Your Muma says she's a piece of... It's called an automaton. You're lucky. Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's... She's so happy you made the most of it. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. Give it a last burst and you'll make it. Your Muma says, whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulks on the loose. They've received a group of... You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost. Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Look, an emergency box from the old days. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. You'd think this place would be crawling with worms. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Dented that one good. sure to be useful. That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Well, small one. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried. You have a chance to change the future for good or bad. A flush stool. Seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush stool. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. This corner of the world is called Bricktown.
Salve, meu parceiro.
E aí, cara?
E Flávio.
Better than nothing.
Depois do Red Dead.
Aí,
Just when you think it's darkest, the dawn.
Oxi, esse Jonatas. Oxi, o Jonatas tá jogando um jogo que nunca vi na minha vida. Porra de
Would you look at that? Looks like the fry sparker's knobs need to be in sync if you want to get the hardware working.
Deus. Very good. Vocês estão falando em inglês?
It's a fry sparker mindset. Boom, you got something. It's not exactly what you wanted, but you got it right away.
Tá pior que jogar com ele. Tirar esse cara aqui. Tá tudo caralho. Ou vai tomar. Fuder, velho.
Dawn feels like greeting an old friend.
Porra. Tá certo, ele.
Can't get it every time.
Fala nada disso.
Vai, chama papai pra cá.
Control your destiny, or someone else will. Never thought I'd see... You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. You really put a spin on it. This could be the beginning of the end of everything. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. Each new day means new chances. This one seems to be in good spirit. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good.
Fan that flame!
Wait, no! Bright light blinds! It's dangerous.
I've got all the cold sick burns you need, Dark.
Oh, do you have to insult me over this?
I don't have to.
Porra, pegar as coisas de...
That's a myriad tribe outpost. Well placed. That's a good find. The Vespidat outpost, long-time home of the Myriad tribe.
Fairy tale.
Says you need to hit them where it hurts, inflict as much suffering as possible, and make it clear your tribe is a terror to their existence. Triumph is always the culmination of many, many small victories. They're eager to start the takeover now.
They'll
follow your lead. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. Spot, wrecked it. Give those twirly wheels a turn. Yes, the river tub's going down the drain. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. Says they've been treated fair, but is glad to see you. Hopes you'll treat the rivals with the same respect they treated them. Wishes there was another way, but they'll do their best. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. Red means danger. Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it. Then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks sploding. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Says you did a great job. Says you're lucky to have the honor. Out of Date says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're making progress with the tribe conflict. He had a feeling you'd get him. Your positive outlook on life might be just what the Jagni tribe needs to complement. But Out of Date emphasizes that solving the tribe conflict won't matter That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porky-Puff needs to be handled. He says the time has come to confront the Porky-Puff at the end of the East Route. Goop is working on making his goo glide strong enough to break the waves out to the World Eater. You should get over there and see what you can do to help. The night time is the right time. You should be able to use that.
Bula räka för kukuna.
Heard you were a somber kid and is glad you crawled.
Bula boka wetawa fufu.
Understands completely. Doesn't believe you're such a fool. Wishes you goodbye. Offers you extraordinary prices for extraordinary things. Says you came to the right place. They only stock products of the finest quality. Stash for your trash. Ka-ching! Done and done. Such a dark night. The vendor says you can browse his goods any time during opening hours. Says there's usually a line, but... Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Says there's a fellow under the says you covered the... It would be the perfect spot for a vacation. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Everything is at stake. Says it's good to see you again. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what... He knows he's easy. He understands you. He says that the catastrophe... Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the... He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find...
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Figures the world is a goner. Even the goo will go gone. Thanks you for doing everything. Wonders why you're flapping up. But hey, back to the... Knows yesterday is already gone. He can't leave the Subnautica Station. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. You're lucky that way. There's still cargo... Is that a ray of hope? Down is easy. Up is the hard bit. Welcome. The simplest thing. Feels good. Better get moving before the day passes you by. Wild headgear. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There's debris floating around on the surf that might be blocking your path or needs to be towed. That means you'll need a device so you can get it out of your way. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the Goo Glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive Porky Puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the Surfipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. That's where he bought. Much better than floating on a tube raft. Welcome to the Surfipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. You're poking around Hockbur, a prime village. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. Yeah. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Points out that he's hungry. Says you look like you've... Wonders if you could... Either way, he hopes you... Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't... Sure, that's the point. Says you should toast... Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Thinks it's funny you wound up with the Jagni. They drink so little, like birds. Guesses someone has. But who cares? Says you'd be without a drink. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but figures the there are other ways than watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. Says he's not sure. At this speed, the goo is sublime. The Quack Hollow. It's just lonely. The right key could have... Oh, it's locked. You always find good use for things like that. This is more gun than most can handle. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. And the open goo before you. Everything seems to take longer at night. The vendor says you can browse his goods anytime during... Says the place is in high demand, so no wonder you're eager to get down to business. It's good someone else can use your old stuff. A done deal. Never know what's hiding out in the dark. That's Goop says. After that, Out of Date started using his head instead of his legs. He seems happy to talk. You need to help Goop defeat the Porky-Puff before it destroys the southeast route. If we take the tree's health for granted, it's sure to rot before our... Seems surprised you have to go. He seems happy to talk. You need to help. Thinks the Pichu says you should... He seems happy to talk. Goop thinks you should try to recapture that sense of fun you had as a kid. Says there's... Says you should... He seems happy to talk. Understands you have other places you need to go. Let's see. Every day is a new chance to fulfill your destiny. ready to live at your own speed. This is a quarrel spot. So many wars have been fought over this patch of dirt. What a waste. The gooing of the water in the ground is spreading. Tells you that everyone that says you'll meet again. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. More than a flesh wound. What a bruiser! Hope you enjoy the rain. It's a rare sight. Treasure it. Wildlife here is teetering on the brink of extinction. We all are. The meat-eater again. Nothing seems to satiate his hunger. The note is done for unless you intervene. Nice. Some barked wood scrap for you. It's all about destiny. Yours, mine, the entire world's. Choke up that grip. We all share the same destiny, destruction or survival. Tread soft. That's a monster nest, if ever I've seen one. Heroes make for the best stories. It's up to you if you want to be one. Gotta try the key to see. Says some realize the world is ending and can't stop listening to the clock ticking. Click is one of those. He wants to unlock every door in the world. If he wants to do that before the doors are all gone, he'd better hurry. Figures if they knew that, they'd be opening all the doors too. Says if you want to find Click, you should look for him, well, anywhere. No, really, that's what it's called. The place he set up shop. Eventually, he'll show up to try to open them. He's in even more of a hurry than you are. Says he might tell you, if he knows. Try to be friends with the beast. Bet you could make something shiny out of that metal. The end is coming to the world, and everything else. The warmth just goes right to your toesies. The Domp outpost. The Ad tribe. Staffed. It's time to do what's right, for certain values of right. perfect place for a fight. Empty-handed. You found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees. You're at the quarrel spot. Just disgusting to see it destroyed. There are tough times ahead, no matter where you go. This corner of the world is called Anywhere, which is maybe why Click calls it home. This fellow seems shocked to see you. He's heard about you, but figured you didn't have the guts to do what must be done to survive till the end of the world. Agrees that's obviously true. Figures someone like you must be willing to do anything to stay alive, just like him. Now that you got this far, though, which way will you go? Are you really tough enough to see this through to the end? Or will you turn tail and run? Guesses the end is coming. Asks you to think of the world like a set of locks. Every time you do something, you decide whether to open one. Better than what? Looks like the world appears to him like he likes the Jagni you work with. He's liberated lots of things with them. And from them. Taken, stolen, snagged, grabbed, however you want to put it. Says back in the day, he keeps his business low-key. The gears mesh well between you. It'll be easier for both if you just call him Click. Says that's the right way to ask that question. Think of your... Click says his key to... If you charged a bar, just flip the switch of a generator that produces superheated, glowy air and get on it when the lightning charge forms. Simple, right? Says you seem much more suited to this kind of danger, and it's your clonk fist after all.
Take that light!
Really, you ought to use your head instead of...
See? The darkness...
Just remember, you...
Dark!
Let's see. Growl it into a higher gear. You could have missed this village. It's called Mamble Clump. Agrees with you that the only way to get a peddler is eager for you to have a look at the wares. Says this is the go-to place if you like a good deal. See what they have. That worked out. Careful nothing's sneaking up on you. That's a toxinol zap station. Just flip the switch of the generator to produce superheated glowy air and get on it when the lightning forms. Take this seriously, or it'll take you down. You did good, but the lightning did all the work. Head back to Click to amp up the Clonk Fist. Day's wasting. Get to work while you can.